Well, we're back to the Minecraft Creative Flyover. If you hadn't already guessed, this is the church, which was the precursor to the cathedral that we just saw. It's a good building, but it's still unfortunately incomplete, with probably no chance of me actually finishing it off with the cathedral underway. Basically, to start at the edge, where we started from, we have the main window with the lovely cross with the glowstone at the back and the glass surrounding it. Down below we have the pulpit, and this will be back to the choir room, loft, etc. Down the stairs and the communion cakes and the baptism dip. And these to the sides, one would go to the hall, the other would go to the bit to go downstairs, which I'll show you right now, which is to the, come on, double, there we go. This was going to be the catacombs of the church, but I realized that I really didn't go deep enough, or rather I built the church itself too low to get down that much, so it didn't really work out. But again, once I get the cathedral working properly, I'll probably use bits of this, bits of that, bits of other things that I make to put it all together. Going back inside the church, we have the pews. I wish I had found something better to do this with. However, they have carpet in the new game, so that might work a bit better. The windows, and this one and the bench. And here's where you can get your hymnals. And a bit of pictures, touch of God there. What's interesting about this one is that it is another one of the designs that I made from something else. This, let's see, this top here was from one church. The windows were from another type of church design. The catacombs were from a different church design. I made most of the pulpit by myself. The pews, as I said, were from one church design. What's interesting though is that, come on, out the door, is that the front of the church was actually from a castle rather than a church design. But I like the little gardens right here and the water display, as well as these wide declining stairs. And if you saw before in the catacombs, that cross there is right on the catacombs as well. So that sort of explains this one. And then we have a nice little open part right here so you can congregate. The bed, so in case there's any thunderstorms, which I don't like. I've explained it before so many times. Thunderstorms love to use lightning and set anything that I ever make on fire. So that's why I don't use them anymore. I'll reset this one. Okay, off. Let's activate. Basically, this was the clock noise that I wanted to have, the ch-chick-ch-chunk of like a heavy-duty clock. Still didn't work quite as what I wanted, but again, it's more to do. Again, here's where the bell towers would go. You'll see the actual completed tower, well, the small bell towers, not those master ones that you saw before. But anyway, these would go here, and each would play a different tune. One would play one when it got to nighttime, the other would play something else when it got to daytime. And jump, this is a maintenance access shed that you'll see the finished version later on. But pretty much that's the church, which again is going to be overhauled later. I'll just head over here very quickly. These two designs were chandeliers for the church design. They're pretty good, but again, they still need a bit of work. So yeah, now so far you've seen the cathedral, the church, some of the extras to it, and now here's the park. Oh, stuff has been spawning on it. That's promising. So anyway, this is the park. If you remember from before, I looked well from the distance to its prototype. And also you can see that my roadways are very glowstone intensive. This is using like 2 acres worth of glowstone from the nether. So the other version I think will be much better once I get it working. I'll head down to and just show you the underside, little pavilions here, chickens laying eggs. This is one of the fountains. I like this one because it looks sort of imperial with the square design, but I did come up with a better looking one later. One problem with this park is that I could not figure out how I should get the trees balanced with the water effects and everything else. That was something that really was frustrating me. I thought about lining it up with the overlayers, but again there was a problem with that. I'll figure that out later. Head down a bit so you can see what's actually below it, which is the sewer system. Zip through here. Basically, this sewer system is what will run underneath all the pathways. And if you, let's see if I just saw it dripping. Here we go. And this is the underside of that fountain that you saw before. I figured it adds a nice little touch to things, having the dripping sewers and everything. Not only does this add as a little waterway, which you can use boats on to get around the city fast underneath, instead of having to stick to the surface, but underneath here, I'm planning to have a little, what is it? Yeah, more dripping, that's the other fountain. Underneath here, I plan to have basically a sort of, let's see, underground nightlife sort of thing for the maintenance workers for the city. But that's for later. I'll show you what I had planned for that in a few. Still have a bit of time left, so I won't get to the house. I'll show you these little doodads around here. This was a mob condenser. Basically, mobs will fall into the water, get pushed into the center block, and then I can easily take them out from a distance. This was to see if I can trap mobs in one single block so I can hit them from safety here. However, because cave spiders are only like a half block tall, they can climb up the silverstone over whatever I put in the way here and still come and attack me. So that was a no-go. This tower was to see how high something can fall from before it dies. I believe everything dies from this one. Basically only spiders and a few other things die from that one, and nothing dies from this. Basically we'll see how many hits it took for something to die and how many hits it took for me to kill something after it fell. Here was a better looking version of the mob trapper that still didn't work, unfortunately. These two are prototypes for the maintenance hub. These are the first maintenance hub ideas, like small little things just to get underground. But I had a better idea for them later. Just to explain these random planks right here. Basically they were supposed to be crates for a dock, but for this dock actually, but it didn't really work out all that well. So however, in the new game, well, newer versions, I see that there's a few new designs that I can use that I might be able to work for the boxes. Just to finish off these little doodads, this was another mob condensed spawner thing. Didn't work out as well as the other one. This was actually a bar, well, supposed to be, but because as I said, I have a habit of putting stuff too close together, I ran out of space before I can actually complete it. So you'll see the finished version of this later. I'll get over here. As I said, this was going to be a dock, and yeah, I'll do this one very quick. This was going to be a dock, and as well as a fortress wall. Basically, mobs could spawn in the outside, the town would be on the other side of this, a mob would have to go up a spiral staircase, which most aren't that good at. Then they have to backtrack, go up these stairs, and then forward track to the tarn over here, which would then be another spiral staircase down. So it wouldn't be a straight run for them. This would be blocked off so they couldn't just jump over the edge to get to villages, etc. But basically it's a heavy duty wall, and even more so, there's also these two side doors which you can zip into. And the fun thing about them, once you get into here, the stone would start pegging any unmentionables that might be following you, and you can zip down to the powder cellar, so to speak, grab a sword, grab some weapons, etc., come back up and start hacking and slashing your way back out to the exit. And on the other side is the exact same thing. 4 snowmen, basically they'll aggravate everything for long enough for you to get down and get back up. So yeah, that's the fortress, well, fortified wall for the exterior ocean side of the town. And basically I think this is a good point to cut it off now. So just to stop, I'll get to, and just to show you, that's the bell tower I was talking about that goes to the church way off in the distance there now. And what was that? One last thing before I do. Basically this was just a tester to see how I can get arrows to fire. Okay, that's enough of that. And yeah, so when we get back, I'll show you the small, large apartment and a bit more of the town design. Alright, off we go.